sunset till you're back in my arms. When you said you'd wait, I knew it was something I was fighting for. The memories we're gonna make when I'm back home. When I'm back home, It's 9 in the morning, won't be long until I'm back where I belong. And they say distance makes the heart grow fonder, then my heart is overgrown. The memories we're gonna make when I'm back home. When I'm back home. When I'm back home. When I'm back home. It's 10 in the evening, I can see your silhouette through our front door.
It's about to say no. Stop, it's winter. It's okay. It's okay. It's so nice. You too. What's up?
No, I ask everyone to please stand to greet the bride? Union by Robert Fulham. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment, and at some point you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed you have been making commitments in an informal way. All of those long conversations that were held in a car, or over a meal, or during long walks. All those conversations that began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, and you will, and we will. All those late night talks that included someday, somehow, and maybe. All those promises are unspoken matters of the heart. All those things are, and more, are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we promised, hoped, and dreamed for? Well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another: acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, even teacher, for you have learned much from one another these past few years, long years. Shortly, you will say a few words that will take you across a threshold of life, and things between you will never quite be the same. For after tonight, you will say to the world, this is my husband, and this is my wife. Yeah. So, hello, my friends, how are we? Good. Take a deep breath, please. Thank you. If you're going to pass out, just let me know. Okay.
So you got to catch it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Reverend Louis Olivieri, and on behalf of our bride and groom, Claudia and Ryan, I thank you for your presence here tonight. We gather together to witness and celebrate the convergence of their two lives in the sacred partnership called marriage. So here at this amazing venue where there is so much beauty, we get to call where we are right now a sacred place. Why? Because we're going to witness a sacred act, the consecration of the vows that Claudia and Ryan will make in front of God, their family, and their friends, with the words that will unite their lives in the holy bond of matrimony. So let's begin with the blessing for our bride and groom. We give thanks for the gift of enduring love that gathers us here tonight, and we acknowledge the presence of love in this place, at this hour, and in the hearts of us all. It is the presence of love manifesting itself at all times and under all conditions, which is the love that never fails. We who are gathered ask that our bride and groom always be surrounded in light and love. As we witness the words that they will speak in the vows of marriage they will make, keep them firm in their commitments that they will make to one another. And we ask that our bride and groom's union be strong as husband and wife. May they each help the other navigate the road ahead, both individually and as a family from this day forward, as they each change and grow through the years. And may they be as flexible as they are faithful to one another. And we ask that they always remember the qualities that attracted them to each other when they first met, and how they felt as their feelings turned into respect, admiration, and finally love. And that Ryan and Claudia will work hard to turn their feelings of love always into acts of love, so that nothing and no one will divide them. And that they will always have kind and loving hearts, they're quick to ask for forgiveness when they are wrong, as well as to forgive when the other partner is wrong. And that their love might grow to hear all things, believe all things, and hope for all things. And that their love increases and overflows beyond anything they could ever imagine. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. Claudia, Ryan, You have chosen this moment to make a declaration of your eternal love, your deep respect, and sheer delight of each other's presence in your life, and that in itself is a reason to celebrate. But before all of us here, you will say the most powerful, most loving words two people can say to one another. You will take your wedding vows. And as much as we are here to witness your marriage, I believe that tonight is really a celebration of your love, a love which is strongly built upon time, always trusting and respecting one another, navigating through your lives' experiences together, knowing that it is not about making your relationship survive, but how to make it thrive. Through the time that our couple has been together, Claudia and Ryan's relationship has developed and strengthened to what it is today in the way that most strong relationships do. And that's through a series of shared experiences and shared emotions, both between them directly as well as with their family and friends. It's always been the ups and downs, the joys and sadnesses, successes and failures which have brought them even closer together and helped foster the understanding of their shared vision of a future together. And they each are committed to being with one another and doing the work for each other and with each other to make being together a success. And though they are alike, they are not similar, and this has allowed our bride and groom to grow as a couple because they've had the opportunity to realize that communication is key, which makes them really strong partners. Together, whatever may cross their path, Ryan and Claudia have the uncanny ability to compromise and articulate their differences without defensiveness, anger, or judgment. And truly, I know that both our bride and groom live up to the words of St. Paul in the letter that he wrote to the Corinthians, which says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It is not jealous, it is not pompous, it is not inflated, rude, and it does not seek its own interests. It is not quick-tempered and does not seek, brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes for all things, and endures through everything. Now faith, hope, and love remain, but the greatest of these is love. Love never fails." A true marriage begins well before the wedding day, and the efforts of a marriage continue well beyond this ceremony's end. A brief moment in time and the stroke of a pen are all that is required to create the legal bond of marriage. But to make your marriage last, you must put each other first. Find little chances every day to show that you're grateful to be partners, to be friends, to be married. Yes, it is not finding the perfect partner to marry, it is being the perfect partner that makes a marriage. And after spending some time with you, I do believe that in each other you have found that one person, a confidant, someone to love, nurture, and grow old with, someone to take care of, and someone to take care of you. And so because of this, Claudia and Ryan will both affirm the choice that they have made to begin a new life tonight, formally uniting themselves as one family, and that they already are the first person they want to see in the morning and the last person they always want to kiss goodnight. And my friends, you've been invited here this evening to share this moment with them because you're the people who mean the most to them. Although this is their day, it is also a tribute to all of you. For knowing you and interacting with you has helped to make our bride and groom who they needed to be to find each other, and they would like to thank you for all of that. Ryan and Claudia would also like to offer their profound gratitude to their parents for the love and care you've shown in raising them. The unconditional gifts of love and support that you have continually offered have inspired them to become who they are today, and they thank you for guiding them to this celebration of love here tonight. Our bride and groom would also like to note that there are those who could not be here tonight. There are those that could not make it because of time and or distance to travel, and then there are those who have passed, but who are here in spirit, really happy to see Ryan and Claudia by each other's side now and soon to be forever. So let us note all those who have passed from both sides of the family. Let us bring them into our thoughts and into our minds, and thereby we bring them into this ceremony. So I ask all of us now to open our hearts as wide as we can as we come together with our full presence to honor Claudia and Ryan as they join together as husband and wife. For it is said that once in a lifetime you will find someone who touches not only your heart, but also your soul. Once in a lifetime you will discover someone who stands by you and not over you. Once in a lifetime you find someone who loves you for who you are and not for who you could be. Once in a lifetime, if you're lucky, you find someone as you have found each other. So with all this said, I think it's time to get them married. What do you think? Yeah. If it's your intention to be wed, please come front and center, join each other's hands, and in doing so, we will join your hearts. And we ask that our couple be filled with a sense of the solemnity of the vows they are about to make. May they enter into these sacred obligations in humble dependence upon grace. And may they always remember that the vows they will speak, the rings they will exchange are done in a matter of moments, but the promises and tokens of their love will last a lifetime. And so I ask you, do you, Ryan, take Claudia as your favorite person, to laugh with her, continue to go on adventures with her, support her through life's tough moments, be proud of her, grow old with her, and find new reasons to love her every day? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
And do you, Claudia, take Ryan as your favorite person to laugh with him, continue to go on adventures with him, support him through life's tough moments, be proud of him, grow old with him, and find new reasons to love him every day? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
And our couple has asked to say a few words to each other. And who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Let's get that out of the way.
Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Cool.
Why am I looking at my book? Gotta look at you.
You hear a lot of people say that love is hard, but loving you is the easiest thing that I've ever done in my entire life, because you are the best.
You started off real hot.
I know. The best thing that ever happened to me. That's not to say we've never had a challenge in our relationship. I still remember summer 2015, sitting in your room in Portugal, silently crying because your dad was in the room next door, because I was about to start law school in North Carolina, and you were going to move back home to start teachers college at Columbia. I remember crying so hard that we started laughing.
I thought someone passed out.
But 3 years later, 3 years of distance with you was easy, because everything with you is easy. Because when you love someone like the way that I love you, it makes everything easy. It makes every sacrifice worth it, because if the end result is spending a life with you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. I love everything about you. I love the ordinary and I love the extraordinary. I love our every day together, calling you 10 times a day just to check in, looking out the window with Lucy, waiting for you to come home. So I can make you play games with us. We're falling asleep on the couch and our dance parties in the kitchen. I love every single thing about every single day that I spend with you. I've known that you were going to be the person that I spend the rest of my life with since that first time we were sitting talking at Willie C's for over 3 hours. And the 11 years since, that has not changed and it will never change. I love you so much.
Me too. Were you allowed to kiss her? Oh, yeah? Okay.
I love you.
I don't have as impressive of a memory, so I'm going to read. Okay. When I think of my first memory of you, I remember you wearing a blue backpack and confidently leading a group of people to a house party in Fredonia. I thought, who is this guy that all of... Sorry. Ooh, I need a tissue. This stuff is happening here. I apologize. Okay. Sorry.
No,
Gross. Okay. Oh, I think I needed to... Shoot. Got another one.
Take a good one.
Your pocket score?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, wow.
We're good.
Okay. Sorry. When I think of my first memory of you, I remember you wearing a blue backpack and confidently leading a group of people to a house party in Fredonia. I thought, who is this guy that all of these people are following, as I too followed? You revealed to me later that you had no clue where you were going, and that you were just hoping you'd stumble upon a party. It was that confidence you walked with and led with that day that first captivated my attention. I love that you know who you are, and that you don't ever try to be anyone but that person, no matter the circumstances or the people you're around. I love how committed and loyal you are, not only to me, but to your family and friends. For the past 11 years, you have made me feel so loved, and I can truly say I've never questioned the love you have for me. There's more. Okay. Not only do you tell me you love me several times a day, but you show it with your actions as well. You moved to New York City to be with me when you're not a city boy at all. You check in on me multiple times a day. You're always excited to see me and Lucy when you get home from work. You allow me to be a couch potato and binge watch my shows, and you're even learning Portuguese. I love that you're currently on a 446-day streak on Duolingo so that you can learn to communicate with my family. I always think I couldn't possibly fall more in love with you, but after listening to you speak in Portuguese during your rehearsal dinner last night, I think my family and I fell even more in love with you. I love the relationship you have with your family, and I love that through being with you, I get to have them in my life. Your parents and sister have always been so loving and welcoming towards me. I love how intelligent you are and how much I have learned from you. You've taught me so much about the law, politics, and the Buffalo Bills. Oh my gosh, it's like that. I love how great of a dog dad you are, how you run in the house after we've been out for a few hours to greet Lucy and smother her with love. Seeing you with her has made me so excited to have kids because I know you'll be the best dad. I love you so much it hurts. I used to think this line was corny, but it's true. And as you mentioned before in your vows, I remember your last night in Portugal before you went off to law school. We were in my bedroom and my dad was in his room. We cried so much it hurt. I literally thought I was going to stop breathing. We tried being quiet because if my dad knew how much we were crying at the moment, he would have thought something tragic had happened. We had been together 4 years, but we were nervous about long distance and sad about being so far apart. Now that I reflect back on those times when you were in law school in North Carolina, I don't ever think about how difficult it was, because even with 574 miles separating us, you made me feel loved. I love you so incredibly much, and I vow to love you today and all the days of our life. Okay.
Oh, we can clap.
I need a
I think so, right?
I have so many.
Oh, wow, if they're clapping with that, what happens when I pronounce you? Jeez. Having now given freely the voice of your desire to be united in marriage, I'm now going to ask you to express your vows to each other. So, Joe, may I have the rings, please? Thank you, Joe. These rings which I'm holding are made of precious metal and will endure forever. The wedding ring has long been a traditional symbol of all faiths, representing commitment and enduring love, that like a circle, it is without a beginning and without an end. As you wear these rings, let them be the outward sign, the enduring symbol of your promises to one another to create a partnership that in itself is whole and unbroken, a promise for your lifetime. So I bless these rings so that each one who gives one and each one who wears one will ever be reminded of the words they will now speak to each other, forever growing in the spirit of love. Amen. Ryan, when you look at your ring, I always want you to remember why you asked Claudia to marry you. And Claudia, when you look at yours, I always want you to remember why you said yes. I want you to remember the feeling that you have in your heart at this very moment. Take her ring, please. Extend your left hand. No, leave it there. Okay? You're going to repeat after me. Loud.
I, Ryan, take you, Claudia, to be my lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, richer or poor, in sickness and in health. I give myself to you. And with this ring, I thee wed.
Please place the ring on her finger.
I, Claudia, take you, Ryan, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. I give myself to you. And with this ring, I thee wed.
Please place the ring on his finger. And now I ask you to hold each other's hands and close your eyes for a moment. And feel each other's love pouring down your heart down your arms and into your hands, joining together to form one perfect partnership, one sacred energy, one unshakable holy bond. So I bless these rings and these hands to be a sign by which this man and this woman have now bound themselves to each other. And now I ask you to open your eyes and behold this beautiful being of light and love before you. And as you face each other and hold each other's hands tightly, gaze into each other's eyes and see the gift that you are to one another. And now take a moment to look at your hands. These are the same hands they were a moment ago, but now they carry the bands that symbolize your commitment to one another, the hands that hold you on this very special day, promising to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. The hands that have held you often, offering you strength when needed or just when you needed a hug. And together, these are the hands that will continue to work alongside of yours as you continue to build your future and your family. The hands that already take care of your fur baby Lucy, who could not be here tonight, but waits home for you to celebrate together. And these are the hands that will hold your children and your children's children. The hands that even when you wrinkle in age with time, you will still be reaching for one another, still giving the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. As you go forward into one life together, these hands will change. But it is my prayer for you that your relationship remains like the rings on your fingers, always pure, shining, and precious. I will now offer you a final blessing. We ask for your blessings upon this couple, O Lord, as they unite in marriage, that all their days together be happy and all their words together be sweet. Though their paths are intertwined, let them be aware of each other's separateness. Bless their home and allow it to be a place of joy and serenity, and remind them to nurture each other's body with mutual love, honor, and respect. As they learn from one another, may they grow stronger as individuals and closer as a couple. And as their wedded life begins tonight with prayer, so may they continue it, praying for and with each other. Amen. So let the strength of your wills now bind you together. Let the power of your love and desire make you happy, and may the strength of your dedication now make you inseparable. So because you have grown in love for one another, and because you have chosen to go forward in a life seeking a richer and deeper relationship, you have just openly and honestly committed yourself in the bond of marriage before all of us gathered. You know, your visions of the future may not always be identical, but they should be complementary. It has been said that a dream that you dream alone is only a dream, but a dream that you dream together, that is reality, and this is the beginning of your new reality. For it is said that when the one whose hand you're holding is the one who holds your heart, when the one whose eyes you gaze into gives your hopes and dreams their start, when the one you think of first and last is the one who holds you tight, and the things you plan together make the whole world just seem right. When the one whom you believe in puts their faith and trust in you, you found the one and only love you'll share your whole life through. Therefore, it is my great privilege and honor, by the power vested in me by the state of New York, and as minister, and more importantly as your friend, that I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now seal your vow with a kiss. Or we can continue with the clapping. Mr. and Mrs. Holt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Bienvenidos, señores y señores. At this time, I'd like to ask you all to please rise out of your seats as we get ready to introduce some very important people. Ladies and gentlemen, with that love and enthusiasm, please focus your attention to the main entranceway, because right now at this time, we're going to start it off by introducing the groom's grandfather coming in with his grandchildren, Sophia and Allie. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Tom Tudas.
Try to domesticate you, but you're an animal. Baby, it's in your nature. Just let me liberate you. You don't need no papers.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next are the bride's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Nasiré Acevedo. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for the groom's parents. Here's Mr. and Mrs. Tom and Lisa Holt. Let's go! And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna switch it to the bridal party. Coming in first, let's give it up to Leah and Wolf.
Bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, yeah. Bring 'em out, hey.
Up next, we got Denise and Joe Walsh.
He heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Most feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city got pissed, heard he got 3. That other rapper got a hit, but shouted he
Let's keep it going for Armanda and Blake.
back now. Raws don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, strippers getting naked before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall in shack now. Still push a button and let the roof on the lag down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to
Make
Jack
some
now.
noise for Alyssa and Marcelo.
All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, front to back, they yelling, bring 'em out, Yeah, what other southern rapper hooded than this? I got rich and I'm
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Katarina and John.
I shoot not, now we're doing it quick. If I hit you in the face, you gon' be suing me quick. If I catch another case, I know it's true to be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other
Now,
rappers bedtime.
ladies and gentlemen, get ready. We got a special treat. Up next, we have America's Next Top Model, and ladies, the next star of The Bachelor. Give it up to Madeline and Daniel.
Bring 'em out, all the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, front to back, they yelling, bring 'em out, mic check, 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gon' do when you show up on the scene?
And of course, no bridal party would be complete, because tonight we got a special treat. Here's the maid of honor, the matron of honor, and the best man. Give it up to Liliane, Sylvia, and Joe.
Bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, yeah. Bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Most feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Are you guys ready for the newlyweds? No. I said, are you ready for the newlyweds? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Hall. Let's go. Clap, 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 clap. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise out there.
From this moment, life has begun. From this moment, you are the one right beside you. is where I belong. From this moment on, from this moment, I have been blessed. I live only for your happiness and for your love. I give my last breath. From this moment on, I give my hand to you with all my heart. I can't wait to live my life with you. I can't wait to start. You and I will never be apart. My dreams came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing I wouldn't give. From this moment on.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please put your hands together for your beautiful bride and groom as they share this moment. Nicely done, guys. At this time, Brian, if you'd be so kind and escort your bride to the front of your table right over here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we do anything, on behalf of the bride and groom, I'm just going to take a quick moment to recognize someone with us this evening. You see, the person I'm referencing throughout the years had many titles. From friend, chauffeur, bodyguard, but the best title he has to this day is dad, padre. We would like to ask the bride's father to please come and join us, to bring out his little girl out to the dance floor to share this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause, please, for the bride and her dad.
Prometo guardar
Un aplauso.
cada abraço teu. Prometo levar-te onde ninguém chegou. Quando olho para ti, vejo as minhas feições. Eu vou lá estar nas tuas decepções. É esse teu sorriso, a minha nova morada. Esteja eu onde estiver, e os teus olhos azuis jamais conseguirão refletir tudo o que sinto por ti. Então eu só quero que sejas feliz, que saibas o quanto eu gosto de ti. Então eu só peço, onde quer que vás, guarda-me sempre bem junto a ti. Oh, na, na.
Uma salva de palmas, por favor. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for her bride and her beautiful father as they share this special moment on the dance floor. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, being escorted out to the dance floor is the groom's mother, Mrs. Holt. A nice round of applause for her. A well-deserved round of applause. Your attention for a second, please. Because the attention will actually fall on Ryan. You see, before you share this moment with your beautiful mom, there are 3 things I want to remind you of and to never forget. not only am I presenting your mother, but I'm also presenting your first friend, your first love, and when you were born, your first kiss. Ryan, please.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still more? I need your love. I need your love. God, speed your love to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please put your hands together for Ryan and his beautiful mother as they share this moment on the dance floor.
Hi everyone, I am Lily, Claudia's oldest sister and maid of honor. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight to celebrate Claudia and Ryan's union. My goodness, I cannot believe this day is finally here. My baby sister is a married lady. I know she has been planning this day for a long time, and wow, everything looks so stunning. Great job, Claudia and Ryan. I was 5 years old when Claudia was born, and I remember being so excited. So much so that I kept forgetting her name as I walked up and down the stairs at my aunt's house filled with joy. I told everyone her name was Gloria. I remember how I used to sneak into her room when she was sleeping while everyone else was playing outside. I was so intrigued by my real-life baby doll. Although Claudia is the youngest, I often find myself calling her for anything and everything. She is honest, loving, and is always ready to give me advice without judging me or the situation. Claudia is a great listener and has always had my best interest at heart, even when she used to email me long essays regarding an ex or two she wasn't fond of. I cannot thank you enough for being so supportive at my lowest, for always putting a smile on my face, and for making me laugh with your silliness. I remember when Claudia was applying for colleges, she was adamant about going away for college. I was all for it until I realized she would be choosing a school 7 hours away from home. The first 2 weeks of college were not so great for her, but it was a lot worse for her family back home. Claudia was homesick and didn't know anyone on campus because she missed freshman orientation, as she had decided to go to Portugal for the entire summer. I remember being so stressed out and worried about her well-being. A month later, she made a few friends and met the future love of her life, Ryan. They have been inseparable since then. I admire the strong relationship they maintained when they went back home for summer breaks and when Ryan went to law school in North Carolina and Claudia to grad school in New York City. Ryan, I met you when you were a freshman in college, and it has truly been a pleasure to see you grow into the man you are today. You are intelligent, passionate, funny, and most importantly, you love my sister unconditionally. It makes my heart so happy knowing Claudia will be spending the rest of her life with someone who puts a smile on her face every single day. Not only have I gained a brother, our family has grown a bit more. I want to thank you for opening up to our culture, for trying to learn Portuguese, and for making us part of your family. We feel truly blessed by the kindness and warmness you and your family have shown us. Ryan, we love you and officially welcome you with joy to our family. And now I'm going to say a little something in Portuguese. Agora em português. Boa noite a todos. Queria agradecer aos nossos amigos e familiares pela vossa presença neste dia especial da Claudia e do Ryan. A minha irmã e o meu cunhado estão gratos pela amizade e bons desejos que vocês têm oferecido desde sempre. Espero que vocês desfrutam muito desta noite. Obrigada. I'm not going to speak in Portuguese, no worries. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sylvia, and I'm Claudia's older sister and, yes, thank you, and matron of honor. Thank you all for coming to celebrate the love and marriage of Claudia and Ryan. Such a beautiful couple. I was 3 years old when Claudia came into our lives and instantly made me the middle child. I didn't take it very well, so much so that I recommended that my mom throw Claudia in the garbage can one day when she wouldn't stop crying. I mean, it's a good solution. Growing up, Lily and I were a force together. We couldn't tell Claudia anything because she had the biggest mouth with an odd tendency to bite people when angry. I could also tell her anything and she would believe it. I still carry guilt from the countless times that I blackmailed Claudia into doing things for me. You see, it had all been about me for 3 years, and then she took that away from me. She was now the baby of the family. It was her world, and we were all living in it. I remember her communion photo shoot at Sears, for example. It took hours because Claudia refused to smile, like literally, like 7 hours. And boy, was she a scaredy cat. One year at our local Portuguese club, there was a party, and Claudia was nowhere to be found. We later found her hiding under a table because there was a clown at the party. So she's grown a lot, but she's still a scaredy cat. I mean, she can't watch a trailer of horror films, let alone watch the films. But today she is the most trustworthy person I know. You can tell her anything and you know it will stay with her. I mean, maybe she'll tell Ryan, but it won't go past that. She's the kind of person who apologizes when she feels like she's talking about herself too much. She's the first person I call when I need to vent or I just need to be heard, and I know that she will truly listen to me without judgment. She's patient and empathetic. She is sure of herself and exudes a confidence I only wish I could have. She loves to come home and lay on her couch and do nothing, and I respect that about her. I mean, after a day of teaching kids, who wouldn't want to do that? It's all these amazing qualities and many more that make her exceptional at her career as an educator. When she was in graduate school, she gave me a couple of heart attacks, a lot of heart attacks, because she too suffers from the family disease of procrastination and would ask me to review her papers 30 minutes before they were due at midnight. I would complain, but of course it never changed. And I would do it because at the end of the day, Claudia would do that for anyone as well. She's very easygoing, just like true baby, fun-loving, uncomplicated. She likes to have a good time and not much irritates her. If you don't like Claudia, there is something wrong with you, not her. I remember when Claudia first started dating Ryan, their freshman year of college, so many years ago. I would call her on the phone, and she would ask to call me back because she was in the middle of this really intense game of FIFA with Ryan. Boy, were they competitive, and they still are. They visibly get angry with each other when one beats the other in a game. Ryan with his little not-so-subtle smirk when he's winning, and Claudia really pissed. But they love their games. Whether it's soccer, Settlers of Catan, or ping pong, they always keep each other entertained. While many couples that meet in college grow apart, they're the kind of couple that has grown and evolved together. They make each other better and complement each other in many ways. They've learned the art of compromise. Ryan had to quickly learn what it was like to be around a loud, very loud, but very close Portuguese family that sound like they're arguing all the time, but really we're just talking. He had to learn that going to an aunt's house meant a 6-hour visit, and don't you complain about it. While Claudia had to honor his absolute love for football and the Buffalo Bills, to the extent that every Sunday during football season, Ryan was out of commission, like nowhere to be found. Well, in his home, on his couch with Lucy, watching football all day. They're the only couple I know who argue and still use the word babe at the end of every sentence. So weird. Like, when my husband and I argue, there's not an emoji or a babe in sight. I knew Ryan loved my sister when he made the decision to move to New York City after he graduated from law school. He left the comfort of his quiet life in North Carolina to live in Jamaica, Queens, because being with her meant more to him than his fear of the big city. I mean, that's a big deal. Ryan, I'm so happy to welcome you into our family as my official brother-in-law, though you've always felt like a brother to me. You're inquisitive, super knowledgeable, easygoing, and you love my sister so deeply. Did you guys watch that ceremony? Like, clearly. I find comfort in knowing that she'll always be safe with you. The work you do as a public defender speaks volumes of your character as well. You're passionate about what you believe and you do not change for anyone. All in all, I wish you and Claudia a lifetime of happiness, love, and prosperity. Now let's get this party started. Love you guys.
Evening, everyone. I'm glad he said that didn't happen at the end. He really set me up to fail. My name is Joe Karam. I was one of Ryan's classmates in law school, and tonight I have the honor of speaking to you as his best man. And I remember when Ryan asked me to be his best man, and I remember truly what an honor it was. I've never had someone ask me that question before. I have two younger brothers, and so when it comes my time to walk down the aisle, I won't have a chance to ask Ryan to do the same thing. But if I didn't have those two younger brothers, this is exactly who'd be standing next to me at the end of the aisle. I remember what an honor it was when he asked me, and I also remember how ironic it was, and how ironic it felt, knowing that at some point I'd be right here, standing next to him, called best man and standing next to this guy. And it was ironic because the truth is we're here to celebrate two of the best people that anyone in this room will have a chance to call a friend or a son or daughter or a neighbor or a cousin. Two of the best people this world has to give. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, we do, right? We say it all the time. This person's the best, that guy's the best. This guy right here would detriment himself without hesitating if it meant leaving someone else better off. He'd do the right thing even if it meant that for him, everything else would go wrong. That's the best. And I'd like to say he'd do it for anyone. Not just someone he loved, not just someone important to him. That's not why he'd do it. He'd do it because it's the right thing to do. That's him as a person, top to bottom. That's the best. And what else am I to say, standing up here being called best man, than that this guy has lived up to every definition of the word best that I've ever heard. And beyond being one of the most caring and compassionate people I know, he's also one of the hardest working. And I've seen it again and again. I'll never forget getting to law school. I came out of school with such a bad GPA out of college that I thought they were going to call me after we got to law school and say we got the name wrong. You didn't get in, go home, have a nice life. And Ryan got out of college with a stellar GPA, but he came out of a small school. So we both showed up at Wake Forest feeling like we were out of our depth, feeling like we didn't belong. And we sat down in class next to high-achieving people. Dartmouth, Brown, Cornell, MIT. And all of us, those guys included, sat in class with a professor from Yale doing everything we could not to have to stand up, open our mouths, and show the whole world how dumb we really were. That's how it started. And I remember feeling like we wouldn't make it. And I know he felt the same way. But I'll never forget walking home from class one day Me and Ryan side by side walking across a bridge outside the school on our way home. And I'll never forget him looking at me, dead serious, saying, look, I'm just going to outwork him. I'm going to outgrind him. That's how I'm going to get through this. And I know now, I didn't really realize then, I know now that he wouldn't just say it to say it. On top of being kind and caring, he's one of the most humble people you will ever meet. But in that moment, he needed to say it. He needed to hear it. I needed to hear it. And from that moment forward, we went from walking side by side to me taking a step back and a step left. And from then on, Ryan walked like Mother Duck, and I was like that wobbly thing following behind. And from that point forward, he didn't take a step without looking over his shoulder, make sure the little duckling was following in his footsteps. Whether it was studying for an exam, prepping to take the bar, getting ready to interview for work, he did not take a step without making sure I was stepping behind him. That's the best. And he did. He outworked every one of us, and that whole table of people over there can attest to that. And at the end of that first semester or year or whatever it was, and it was the most important time in law school, he was 8th in the class. The class full of those high achievers, he was 8th or 10th. His work ethic is second to none. That's the best. And those few little things I just talked about, that's how I know that he will carry that same care and compassion and humility and work ethic when it comes to being a husband, when it comes to being a father. He will bring all of those qualities with him and make sure that this person sitting to his left and this family has everything they deserve. This person sitting to his left, Claudia, who might kill me for what I'm about to say, and we've never really talked about it, but I don't think she will. The person to his left, who when we met, I think she was a little cautious of Ryan's new friend, and I don't blame her, and I found out why. Because Ryan's as good on the outside, right, as he is on the inside. Always on time, knows what to say and when to say it. Doesn't party too much, doesn't drink too much, disciplined, right? And then you had baby Duck, right, who has to sew his mouth shut not to say something stupid, who's late half the time, who drank too much in school. I think when we met, Claudia was a little cautious. And we lived together for 2 years. We spent a lot of time together. But as we did, I got to see why she cared the way she did, how intertwined their lives were, why his safety and well-being was at the top of her list. And I think, and I hope, and I believe now, after we've spent time together and we've built a friendship, that she knows how much I respect the most important person in her life, and how much I value him as a friend, how much I value his safety. And I got to understand how Claudia was his rock, how over miles and miles and extremely difficult times in his life, from school to work, they talked about his job. That's no joke. That stretches him thin, all the way up to another very difficult moment in his life that happened very recently. She's been his rock, and she'll continue to be his rock. But because they've been strong enough to endure miles and miles and difficult times and questionable friends, now they'll be able to have the privilege of living every stage of life together. And I think we should all be very thankful that we get to be a part of it. I wish the two of you everything this world has to give. I'd like to ask you to raise your glasses to Ryan and Claudia. Cheers.